Hey guys, it's Robin the Lady Biker. How is everyone out there doing today? I'm out on another absolutely beautiful day here on the Central Coast of California. Out on Bob. Many of you know Bob was my first love. He's my first bike love. And being out on him today, it got me to thinking about when I was a new rider, all the things I wish I had known before I started riding. So I want to talk about that with y'all today, and also to get some feedback from some of y'all who are experienced riders. Give me a moment. Okay, guys, so many of us remember that first year on our bike and all the things that we wish we knew. Now, some of us were fortunate to have mentors who kind of helped us along the way, but not everybody has been. So, I guess about a week ago, I posted up, maybe it was 2, I posted up a community post on YouTube asking for those who were experienced riders, what one piece of advice would they give to a new rider? And if there were any new riders who were on there, what information were they looking for but they were struggling to find? And it basically broke down into 3 main categories. Number 1 would be safety. Safety on riding. So, in that big category, it basically broke down into a handful of topics. One was taking the basic rider safety course critical. That really, not only does it make you legal, because once you pass, you have the endorsement on your license, it's also going to teach you a lot of the very, very basics about riding. And so it's really important to have that for a lot of different reasons. Once you have that, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Because just because you've taken the course and passed the course means you know the bare minimum. It's like being a brand new driver and getting your driver's license. There's a reason why they give learner permits. It's to give time to practice. So in motorcycle riding is the same way. Practicing is critical. It is so important to our long-term safety and just skill. And the other big thing is as you're practicing, as you're learning, be patient with yourself. Seriously, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to drop your bike. You're going to miss a stop sign. We all have done it. So be patient with yourself. You're going to start with 50-foot circles and gradually come down. Now, some of you will do it faster than others, but eventually you will get the hang of it. Get a mentor. Get a mentor, because even though practicing is awesome, having a mentor who has more time on the bike is going to help in so many ways. Because they're going to be able to share some of their experiences, some of the things that their tips and tricks that they've learned along the way. If you cannot get a mentor, if you just don't have anyone around you that can help you like that, video your practice time. Watch what you're doing. I mean, that's one of the things I hear several motovloggers will say. When they go back and re-watch a lot of their videos, they catch things that they're doing that they're like, ooh, I didn't realize I did that. Video is great because it never lies. So, if you don't have access to a mentor, and even if you do, take the advanced rider course after you've been riding for a period of time, just so you keep building your skills. Because if you don't practice them and you don't continue to improve them, you will lose them. So that was those. Then the next big category, the second big category, was your first bike. One of the pieces of information that I totally agree with. don't buy new for your very first bike. Just don't. For a lot of reasons. One, the bike you're probably going to be the hardest on is your first one. And also, there are things that you learn. The longer you ride, the more you learn about what's truly important to you and what isn't. Because there were things that I knew I just had to have before I started riding. But after riding for 6 months, a year, 2 years, what I realized I truly needed was different than what I thought. So, would recommend not buying a brand new bike. Get one used, and then that way you have money also to play with modifying it the way you want it. The other part would be to, when you're picking a bike, especially your first one, pick a bike that you feel uber comfortable on, because you need to spend a lot of time in the saddle, and it's best if you don't have to wait for someone to ride with you. So definitely buy a bike that you feel confident not only riding, but one that is within your current skill set to pick up if you drop it. Because going too big and too powerful too soon can be a problem. Now, like I said, Bob here, he's a 2002 Fat Boy. And, oh gosh, yeah. I would not recommend this being someone's first bike. I know, I'm crazy. I'm the one that's like, oh yeah, you took my water wings off, let me go off the high dive board. That's just me. But most people, I would highly recommend starting with a smaller bike. And then as you gain confidence and skill, gradually start either buying a newer or a bigger, depending on what you want. And you may completely change makes of bike. You may go from Harley to BMW or BMW to Triumph. You never know until you get in the saddle and spend some time on the road. So those are the two big things on picking a bike. The third one that came along was once you hit the road, once you're on the road and you're doing rides and such. And definitely practice. But practice your skills, your slow speed skills. Because most of the time, if you're going to have an issue, at least this is in my experience, it's in a parking lot. And also, practice your emergency skills, your emergency braking and stuff. Because people are going to do stupid stuff. One of my fellow motovloggers, Bunny King Hogs, just recently posted up a video about, I guess they were in Italy on one of their big trips, she and her husband, and she had in one video, in one day, 2 cars pull right out in front of her. So practice your emergency skills and then assume everyone around you is going to do something stupid. I told my kids that when I was teaching them to drive. Assume everyone is going to pull out of a parking lot without looking. They're going to make a turn without using their signal. They're going to change lanes without looking over their shoulder. Assume everyone around you is going to do something stupid and ride accordingly. And for those of you who are relatively new to riding, and then depending on different states of fatigue, which we'll come back to fatigue in a minute. I know I'm going to get some flack on this one. It is what it is. Y'all can tell me if you disagree. Speed kills. Definitely ride within your skill limit. That means slowing down. If it means dropping back from a group, that's okay. It's better to have someone pissed off that you're not keeping up and be alive and healthy to ride another day than to ride beyond your skill level and get yourself or someone else hurt. It's just not worth it. Then modify your bike. That would be my other thing. Ride it for a short period of time and then make any modifications that you need to make to ride comfortably. Couple of examples. I changed out both of the seats on both of my bikes to reach seats to give me more leverage and to get me closer to the tank on both my bikes. That, just being able to be in the correct riding position, definitely helps prolong the fatigue. Fatigue setting in. Then on my new Road King, I also changed out my clutch lever because the hydraulic clutch on the 18, 19, 20 models of Harley-Davidson catch so far out. I was clutching with just these two fingers. And in a situation where I'm riding in traffic or I'm having to spend a significant amount of time upshifting, downshifting through curves, riding in the friction zone, whatever it may be, my arm was fatiguing very fast. My hand was. Because I got tired. Ah! Hello, dude. Someone else out for a ride today. Anyway, so we'll get a chance to ride behind this guy and see some of the beautiful Pacific. So, I changed out my clutch handle to an adjustable clutch lever. Do what you need to do. If you need a windshield, great, because I think that was one of the things that surprised me the most about riding was how quickly fatigue could set in. It really can hit you, and you're riding along, everything's great, and then all of a sudden you're exhausted. So that brought around another good tip. On the days when you're riding a little bit longer or in extreme cold or heat, take frequent breaks. They really, really do help with prolonging the onset of fatigue. So, the final thought, guys. The final thought, public service announcement. Alcohol and motorcycles do not mix. They don't. I know some of you out there may disagree with me. It's a rare occasion when I will have a beverage with a meal, but usually I don't touch it until the bike is parked for the day. Once again, it's just not worth it. I want to be around for many more years riding and enjoying the roads and my bikes. So guys, those are the topics that from my experience and as well as from many, many of you out there that contributed and commented on the post I put up. That's what came up. And then my next question is, I got two. For any experienced riders, is there any additional advice you would throw out there? I mean, what other thoughts do you have? And for those of you who are new to riding, did we miss a question that you have? If you'd have something, some question that, because you're relatively new and you haven't been able to find the information, drop it in the comments. Myself or someone else who's been riding for probably longer than I have will definitely answer and point you in the right direction. So guys, I am heading down into a city called Carpinteria. It's just south of Santa Barbara on the 101. So I'm going to ride down there and then head back up the coast on Highway 1 and just enjoy this gorgeous day. So with that, for any of you that can right now, get out and ride. Have fun. Be safe. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Bye.